Now we are going to have a look at the permissions and securing basically our uploads folder. If we go to the browser, with what we've done so far, we should be able to upload the files to the folder already. So if we select some files, I'm going to select just one for the time being, open it, upload it, and as you can see, it shows here. Let me go back to our editor, and as you can see, we've got this file uploaded. The name of the file obviously has been generated with the date and time and then some random string, the extension and our attached extension, which is .dat. Now at the moment, if I go back to our browser, actually before I do, let me copy the name of this file. I'm just going to select the entire file name, go back to the browser, then go to the uploads folder and put in the name of the file. I can access this file, and if it was any malicious file basically uploaded by someone could execute it. Obviously they wouldn't know that we have this extension, so even though they would see the name of the file with the JPG extension, they wouldn't know that we are attaching something to the end of it. So that's the first thing. Obviously they would get this not found. Now if I remove this file for the time being, let's stay with inside of the uploads folder. We're gonna go back to our editor, remove this file from here. As you can see, when we load the uploads folder on its own, we get this forbidden. You don't have permission to access uploads on this server. And this is because we don't have any file which would instantiate anything. If we insert here index.php, for instance, and let's say, let's type just hey from here and save the file. If I go back to the browser, refresh the page, hey, it loads the index.php. What we want to do is to disable basically anyone from outside, anything apart from the Apache to be able to access this folder in general. So if we go back to the editor, the first thing we're going to do is to change the permissions to this folder. If we right click on my get info and we go into the permissions section, at the moment it's 755, which for the general purposes it would be fine, but this folder will only be for the for uploading the files. We don't have to display anything in the browser, nothing like this. This is only for uploading and sending them automatically by email. No one needs to see anything from here. We're not uploading images which have to be displayed on a page. Nothing. This is just basically temporary location for the file, which is meant to be sent by email. So what we're going to be doing here, we change this permission to 740. And if we hit on apply, as you can see, Word cannot read, cannot write or execute. This group can only read, and user, which is Apache, can read, write and execute. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Now if I, obviously, once we've changed this permission, if we go to the browser and refresh the page, you can see that we can still see the message. If we now go back to our editor, and we obviously can see this message because if we go back to the permissions section, because the group can still read. So that's something we can still do. Now, one thing we need to do is put the htaccess file inside of the uploads folder. So if we create a new file here, call it htaccess, and what we going to type is just two lines. It's going to be order, deny, comma, allow. Don't make any spaces between a comma and allow. It has to be all together. And then deny from all. If we save this file now and go to the browser, have a look at what's going to happen. I'm going to refresh the page, and then we've got forbidden. You don't have permissions to access. Exactly same message as before, but obviously now, even if we type in index.php, we will not be able to access this file because we've denied access to all. But if we go to the form itself, if I select the file, as you can see, the file is still uploading. If I go back to the editor, the file is here. But no one else can basically read it. So if I now even select the name of the file and try to call it directly in the browser, if we go here and then go to the uploads and call the file name, as you can see, we don't have permissions to basically access it. So that's about our securing our folder. Obviously, if I'm going to just remove these two files, we are now all good to create the remove file in the next video, obviously.